recording, and I'll load it up, and you guys can listen in on the recording if the live version doesn't work for you. I got this email Monday afternoon, the pound Aussie phase 1 continuation on the daily time frame. The question was, is my resistance level valid? Well, that is resistance there, so you've got that sort of sitting there as a resistance level. It's a minor one because there's not much else there to go with it. So if we look at the monthly, you see this high here would be the support level, and we bring it back to daily now. We can see that the market's bounced off that effectively twice. And so that's where, if you're trading this on the daily, your entry would be up here and your stop loss would be underneath that. Having it as a resistance doesn't really, even though it's a weak resistance, it doesn't help your trade. So you said yes, resistance is in the way. Well, then that's, you can't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you've given it a point. Well, if that's resistance in the way, you can't add that as a point because that's a detriment to your trade. Okay, so you should have the support line in there. You've written horizontal, but you need a fib support as well as a horizontal, and having that horizontal is important. That's why it's a must-have. Okay. Okay, the mouse is running a little slow too. Computer's struggling with all your emails. Okay, Swiss yen bullish price action was not there today, but just justified the trade from price action on the 13th. Okay. I think we mentioned that this being a higher high and a higher low, if price had got up to this point here that you're wanting to be in the trade because you've got that bullish price action, and the Swiss yen, again, this was a lower high and a lower low, but was bullish. So I got into the trade over here after this swing low, but you could still could have still effectively left the order there because this is a higher high, and then we're seeing buying, so it hasn't run away from us as you would expect if the sellers were dominating. So I'm glad you left it in there, and it fits all the other technical rules. I always say that a double top can't be seen as support or resistance. No, that's not true. A double bottom or a double top is always good support or resistance. I think I'd say the opposite. The double top is a good resistance level, and a double bottom is a good support level. Absolutely. Okay, Aussie yen, this email should be sent in early Monday morning, but my internet went down. Okay, you still want me to analyze it. Okay, continuation short. Got this downtrend, that's fair value. Inside bar, look underneath this bar, yeah, you'd be looking at that. Even an inside bar, it's now buying. I can't remember what this looked like at the end of the day. Come on, mouse, hurry up. Yeah, so you wouldn't have got into the trade. You'd be looking to get under here with your stop there. This 200 looks pretty flat though. This pink one looks very flat. The 50's now gone flat as well, and that indicates that you're in a range. And if we have a look at the weekly, pretty much see the range there. There's the top end of the range. There's the bottom end of the range, and when you look at that, come on, dog. Yeah, there's the bottom of your range. You're kind of in the middle of it, and so you wouldn't really be looking at that if that's the case. However, going back to your analysis, which is this one. Continuation short, you're getting lower highs, lower lows. This is true. Below the moving averages, that's true. Resistance, RSI convergence, yeah. Bearish price action. You did have it on this day, but there's not much in the following 2 days. Yeah, there's no direction. You've got 2 inside bars. So I wouldn't have given it. I wouldn't have really been looking at it if you're looking at it at this day. Yes, and then you see 2 buy bars, inside bars. It really sort of takes you away from the trade. And luckily we didn't get in because it's just going nowhere. Okay. Trade review. This came in Tuesday morning. Come on, mouse. Trade review. Looking at Euro Pound. Hasn't reached its extension yet. That's true. Trend reversal long. Yeah, it hadn't reached the extension yet. There was a bit of divergence there, yes. I know the market had a bit of a run on that. And okay, good analysis on the rest of it. So what do we have here? If you were short this, up here your stop would certainly be above this bar now. And there's a sort of starting to look like a double bottom, but you'd argue that it's a lower low. This is a higher high than that. It's 348. It's not as clean as some things that you can see, such as the CAD Swiss trend that's happened. Or the cyclicity on even on the pound. So when it's not that clear, it's a little probably a signal to stay away from it. Question regarding your suggestion with the currency pair Swiss yen. I'm wondering whether this should be a short trade rather than a long trade. My analysis tells me that looking at recent price action on the daily, we have a series of lower highs and lower lows. That's this here. So it seems to be on the downtrend. And we know that the yen is strong against the US dollar and a number of other major currencies. There could be a divergence on the RSI and stochastic as it's an overbought territory. Although looking at the weekly, it seems to be in an uptrend and currently in phase 2, and it looks like me turning into phase 1 on the weekly. Yeah, so I'm wondering, in your recommendation to trade that currency, are you placing more emphasis on the weekly rather than daily? Well, I don't see it as being a short on the daily. Yeah, the weekly would be showing you that it's a very strong uptrend, as you can see there. and that it was doing a phase 2 back to the 20 EMA. But the daily, you're looking at the cyclicity here. We can clearly, where's my friggin' mouse gone? There it is. Clearly see the cyclicity. And this is just a phase 2. We're still above, well, it wasn't here at this point, and that's why we didn't trade it until it got up here, but we're still, the 50 is still well above the 200, and price action's well above that as well. So that's an obvious indication that you're in an uptrend, and you should be looking to buy any sort of pullbacks like we have. Yes, the weekly, I look for the weekly to find horizontal support and resistance, and to see that if it's in a trend. Across here it's not clearly in a trend, and so it's been difficult to take trades, but now we can obviously see that we're back in a trend and should be taking advantage of that. Excuse me. Okay. Come on, this thing's taking forever. If I put that in there, can you guys see that? No, you can't. Good. So. Come on. Lost more than just sound, we lost friggin' everything. We're back on. Can you guys hear me? Right. Can you guys hear me again? There's a lot of, as I said, there's storm cells back all around Sydney, electronics, or freaking electrical storms. Doesn't help that this computer is a bit slow. Okay, pound yen, trend 1, this is the daily, yep, above the moving averages. Currently EMA support, not that start of phase. We're kind of in the mid phase, and that's why I was saying look at the 4 hour on this one. Bullish price action, fib retracement. Yeah, it came back to the 50. Resistance in the way. No, not really. It's just a previous high. 90% probability. Okay, so I'm not sure what the query is there, but you've got the good analysis. So what I was looking at is it's obviously an established trend going along here. So I was looking at the 4 hour cyclicity to try and get in on it. And there's, unfortunately, you get these large bars, which makes it hard to get in. But that was the concept. And if you look at the pound CAD or the pound Aussie, there's the pound CAD. This is the 4 hour. Using this cyclicity here, there's a potential trade there using that swing low on the 4 hour. Same with the pound Aussie. You've got a swing low on the daily, but you've also got a potential swing low on the 4 hour there. Yeah. So pound Swiss 4 hour, someone wants to talk about that now. I think I have this wrong. Okay, well, dare say, again, you need to be looking at the daily first and then doing your analysis on that. Daily and the 4 hour above the moving averages. Horizontal support. Train traction on the 15th of Feb. Why? Whoop. What happened there? Windows 8. Fib retracement, trend line support. No. The Fib you would be drawing from there to there, and you should have Fib retracement. Let me see if I... Obviously it's fallen through that, but that's what you'll be looking at as your Fib retracement. And this ring low was sort of the 786 or 618. You could argue for either one of those. If we look at the daily though, that's it's, not that fabulous to look at. There's no clear trend, but what we're looking at on the pound using the 4 hour is if things are in an established trend that we're jumping in on the cyclicity. And so like the pound, as I said, the pound CAD is in an established trend, and you're using the 4 hour cyclicity to get in on that trend. Pound Aussie, clearly an established trend for some time now, and we're using the 4 hour to get in on that trend. With the analysis, apart from the daily, or the lack of it on the daily, this is all pretty good hidden divergence here. And as I said, I've just shown you the Fib retracement support for the 4 hour. Another one about the Swiss yen. Having placed an order yesterday and removed it because it had not filled, can you go and place another order today? This was Tuesday lunchtime this came in. I'm a bit unsure whether the same criteria is still in place that was present yesterday. Well, as I said, this is a seller bar, granted, but it is a high, 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 low. And so we have three, or two higher highs here. This bar here is, whilst it's a lower high, lower low, it is clearly still got buying intention there. So, we're yet to be overbought. There's still room for this, and you can see how far it can go past overbought. There's still plenty of room for this, and so yes, I would have said you can keep the order in. Yep, and your daily is all good. What's this fib for? Is that looking for extensions? On your demo now. Well, that's a little frustrating. Pound Aussie. Showed higher highs, continuing uptrend. Bar also showed bearish price action reversal bar. When did you send this yesterday? Yeah, well that was a test bar and then a reversal bar. Should we take profit or wait for possible continuing uptrend today? Look, if you were in here, your stop should be there. If you'd got into the trade at that point in time there, yeah, your stop should be at break even. Yep. Piss off. Which is pretty much where that stop is, where I've got that stop. And if you were, then if your stop's at break even, you see this reversal bar, you'd probably leave your stop because there's no point moving at 20 pips. You just leave your stop at break even. Yeah. My stop management rules are 2 consecutive bars after break even. Price action, e.g. reversal bar, can override this. Okay. So here's your here's your 2 buy bars, and that's why you've got your stop to break even. There's 1, there's 2, and then there's a reversal bar, so another reason to move your stop. Four hour, you could be drawing your fibs either from there to there, yeah, or you could even potentially go from down there. But I would do it from up here, where I had it first time. Is the party over for the phase 1 move? Should we wait for the stops to be hit or take profits now to maximise? No, you should. It's only just started, so I'd be leaving it. Okay. Oh, yours was on the pound US. Sorry, mate. Your question was on the pound US. Pound US. The stop should be underneath that bar. Yeah. That was today's Wednesday. That was Tuesday's bar. 2 consecutive buy bars. We got in here, yeah. 1, 2 buy bars, 1, 2. So your stop would have been underneath this bar, and the stop should now be underneath that bar. I'm going to show you I've got it in another account, but that pound trade is still sitting in another account, not this one. But I moved my stop this morning to underneath that. 66.40. I moved my stop to, so 14 pips underneath that bar. Dollar CAD order. It's an odd one because the dollar CAD is in the middle of the trend. I wouldn't be sort of, it hasn't got back to the 50 fib yet or the 50 EMA, so it's still doing its phase 2. So this will be interesting. Okay, you've got a strong horizontal there at 109, 109.38. Trendline support. Look, I would consider that only one touch. It's not enough. You've got this trend line all the way down here, which is good, but that is only just one touch. Trend line support, you said no. What am I doing? What am I looking at? So fib. Yeah. Horizontal support, this was from 2006. Okay. I like it, but you're just looking at that low test bar. Was this a higher high? I wouldn't have seen that as a higher high. In 2006. That low. Yeah, okay. That's a fair call. To say that low there. There's also one that I would say is this high and this high. Yeah, those two highs there. And so that's in this area here. Interestingly, right, those two horizontals I pointed out is the 50 and the 618 effectively. It's crazy how that works. So it's just a matter of being patient and waiting for that one to show us a good setup. It should come in the next couple of days. How many more emails have I got? Serious? That many? Placed my first order on the Swiss yen. It's a good setup. Today when I checked it hasn't triggered, therefore I deleted the order. Tonight I see that it would have triggered. Obviously I was premature in deleting the order. Can you please explain this a bit more, sir, to the timing of checking orders and subsequent deletion? Can I get back in on the 4 hour if it cycles? Yes, absolutely. You can trade the 4 hour if it gives you a signal. Looking for a retracement back here on the 4 hour. That's not FOMO because this is only just starting this trend, but you want to be. You can see here the market time over in the top left here, above this list of currency pairs. You want to be doing it when it's midnight. So that's 4.5 hours ago, which is 9 a.m. That's when you want to be doing your order management. So cancelling orders, placing orders is around then, so you know the exact highs and lows. So doing it at 0300 GMT, which is what, in half an hour's time, in the middle of the day, you may sort of miss opportunities. We lost you again, have we? Seriously. Anyway, I'll keep on. You guys will come back online when it comes back online. So this is this your analysis? Oh, that's the CAD. So I've gone over this before. It is a higher high, so you could have. I got in on this bar here. You guys were looking at this bar. So you could have still placed it there because it is a higher high. And then you get this bar here, it's bullish, so you could have left it in there. Okay. I don't want this friggin' to end. We've lost us again. Yeah. I'm not sure what's it's trying to connect. Okay. Looks like it's back on now. So trend. Okay, that's good. Seriously. Question on an email was again on the Swiss Yen, and I cancelled my order. Would the reorder today have been valid? That's Tuesday lunchtime that came in. Yes. The answer, we've covered that many times now. Dollar yen short. Dollar yen short. Can't hear me at all. I know. Guys, I'm sorry. This freaking internet keeps dropping out thanks to this storm cells around here. Is this a phase 2 reversal? Dollar yen. Tuesday lunchtime. Look, you could argue that, yes, that this was a phase Tuesday. Well, this bar was in place on Tuesday. The Tuesday lunchtime, is this a phase 2 reversal? Well, no, I think this is an uptrend. And I'd be looking to buy dips. The 50 and the 200 are clearly above each other. Yeah. People took this short. I wouldn't have done that personally. I believe that's in an uptrend, and this is, I think, potentially a fake. That's more because of my